Hey everybody, welcome to Jester's Grin today. I've got a good one for you. Today we're going to be talking about revenge, guys. There's nothing like a good dose of revenge, especially on somebody who's really did you wrong. I'm sure everybody out there probably knows the feeling. But revenge, together with love and death, has probably amassed the biggest count of quotes and sayings from Pluto to Gandhi. Everybody can find a relatable one. We've all been there. The one person that does something so wrong to you, you just got to get them back. Probably means that we as humans, of course, we're spiteful by nature, and we're constantly seeking a new way of how to get even with people. Though vengeance usually doesn't solve any of our problems, the one done humorously can give us much relief and pleasure, but shame the wrongdoer. But today, guys, we're going to go through a list of probably about five, and we'll see what y'all think about it. I hope everybody likes today. But we'll just go ahead. Let's dive in, shall we? It's a little confession of mine, but when I was still married, I had a feeling that my husband was cheating on me. And I found a pack of his condoms in his freaking glove box in his car one day. The box was already open, so I poked a hole in the wrapper of each one of them with a bobby pin. And I proceeded to soak them overnight in habanero pepper juice for an hour. The next day, I dried them out and slowly slid them back into his glove compartment. And he woke up and he told me, well, he had to go help his mom out with a few things that day, and he left. 3 hours later, my best friend called me to tell me that she had had sex with her boyfriend, and now that she was on fire down there. My husband came home and placed an ice pack down there on his, saying he got burnt by something that day. Needless to say, after that, he lost his wife and she lost her friend. Neither one of them knows what I did that day. Now, if I ever see either one of them, I always ask, where's the fire at? I thought it was good. Number two. My former wife loves to take expensive, lavish vacations. We live in Ohio, which doesn't exactly have extravagant places to see unless you like to watch grass growing or interstate construction, you know what I mean? While we made okay money, I'm convinced she felt the need every day to single-handedly improve the U.S. economy with my money by taking elaborate vacations. What am I going to do to stop her, shut down my bank account? Broadway shows in New York City, gambling in Las Vegas, spas in Arizona, sightseeing in San Francisco. The airlines know me so well now that they even ask about my dog every time I make reservations. Right? His name's Fred, good dog. Anyway, in my attempt to try and save whatever I could so the princess could have her nice things, I bought this Honeywell Wi-Fi enabled device so I could adjust the HVAC unit, the heat and air unit, in the house while we were away piling up massive amounts of debt on Mickey Mouse watches at Disneyland for my wife. I thought we could save a couple of bucks by keeping the temp a little cool in the winter and warm in the summer. The device was pretty dang easy to install. I did not have the blue connector, so I had to repurpose the green one. This required an adjustment to the actual HVAC unit in our home, and there are plenty of videos on YouTube, of course, to demonstrate how exactly to do this. And within an hour, I was up and running. The device works flawlessly. You can adjust the temp from anywhere you want, as long as you got Wi-Fi or cellular signal. Little did I know that my ex had found someone that had a bit more money than I did behind my back and decided to make other travel plans without me. Finding a new travel partner, Carl the banker, which I didn't know at the time. She took the house, she took my dog, Fred, and a good chunk of my 401k with her, but didn't mess with the wireless access point or the Wi-Fi enabled Honeywell thermostat that I had installed. Personally, downloaded to my phone. Since this past Ohio winter has been extremely cold and I've been messing with the temp while the new lovebirds are sleeping on my phone, doesn't everyone want to wake up at 7 a.m. to a 30-degree house?
When they are away on their weekend getaways, I'll crank the heat up on my phone up to 80 to 90 degrees and back down to 40 before they arrive home. I can only imagine what their electricity bill is right now. It makes me smile, you know? Good feeling. I know this won't last forever, but I can't help but smile every single time I log into my phone and I see, hey, this is still working. She still has no clue. I'm so screwing with them. Yeah. I also cannot wait for warmer weather when I can crank up the heat to 90 degrees while the lovebirds are sleeping or whatever they're doing behind closed doors. And after all, who doesn't want to wake up to a 90-degree home in the middle of June? Ever since, I still love messing with her. She's still not got it fixed or figured out, so I just still keep cranking it up and cranking it down. $1,000 a month. Light bill. Diggity. Number 3. I was out to a movie with my friends last night, and we came and sit down, and I realized pretty soon that this girl in the row behind us has her feet up on my freaking seat. She's there with one of her friends, so David turns around and he says, hey, man, could you just freaking cut it out? You know, we're trying to watch the movie here, you know. Not asking much, you know what I mean? Just put your feet down. And I think they say something in response, something a little smart-assy, but I just ignored it to begin with, and the feet didn't go down. A few minutes later, David says, hey, will you get your feet off my chair? It's extremely flippin' rude of you. Please. They still don't budge. So I'm starting to get a little bit pissed. So I tell David he should go and find an employee and get them to talk to this flipping girl back here. And that's what he does. He gets up, he leaves out the row, he goes, comes back. They try to talk to the freaking people. Still doesn't work. They leave, the foot's still on the back of my chair. So after a couple of minutes, it's obviously, I'm starting to get real peeved, but begrudgingly I agree, and she puts her feet down for a minute, and at this point, I'm already, like I said, pissed. And why is it so important to you that you have to put your feet on somebody's chair? I don't understand that, but just being a brat. So get out of my seat, and I walk up 2 rows, and I sit down behind the same freaking girl that's been doing this to me the whole time, and I ram my foot in the back of her freaking seat, you know, see if I can get a reaction out of her. They both turn around to me and they try to say something. That's not going to work, you know? But they try to say something, like I said, but I can't really hear them since the movie had just started by this point. So I just say, just watch the flipping movie, okay? Turn around and watch the movie, just like you did to me. Sound good? And I kept my feet there the entire movie, pressing it against her seat. It felt like I had done crunches for 2 hours, but I'm so glad I did it. The revenge was great. She didn't like me. Number 4. I was out on a job site working on a heavy equipment, and this guy told me to go screw myself when I asked him to move his truck out of the way so I could get to a pile of freaking dirt that needed to be excavated. Well, I said, okay. So I calmly sit in my excavator and the loader, and I waited for him and watched him go to a porta-john on the job site, which was awesomely located next to the excavator that I was in. Well, he walks in and closes and locks the door. So I crank on the excavator and I take my freaking bucket, wedge it against the porta potty door. So now he's going to sit there into the porta potty until he learns a few manners and apologizes for being such an ass to me. Everybody, thanks for sticking around this long. And for the ending of this, number 5, this epic letter from a wife to his cheating husband. Hey, honey, guess who left his Facebook open on the computer again and got a message from Kelsey, whoever she is? Yeah, you, buddy. But don't you worry, I didn't break any of your stuff. Actually, I was nice enough to package it all up for you, and I even invented an awesome game for me and you to play together. Since I know you like looking for things like other women, here's where you'll find your stuff, honey. Your clothes are where we first met. Your video games are where we first kissed. Your laptop is where we bought our first video game together. Your TV is where we went all the way. Everything else, including pictures in the last 2 years of our lives, is at Kelsey's house. Yeah, I found her address.
Have fun. Oh, and while I didn't break or damage any of your crap, I can't guarantee that anybody else won't find it before you do. Happy hunting, honey. Goodbye. Again, thanks everybody for sticking around, liking, subscribing to Jester's Grin on YouTube. Catch you on the flip side.